Well, good evening, everybody.
Thank you.
It- Can you hear me all right? Give me a thumbs up if you can.
We sure can, Ray.
Okay, great. Good to be with you, folks. Welcome to the Oliabo overview. Little disclaimer, this is not an official Oliabo company Zoom tonight. This is Ray Herron and Malcolm Wallace giving you our perspective.
Oh, Ray, I muted you because people were talking. Sorry, mate. Oh, hang on. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, sorry.
So, well, let me start over. If you heard me once, I'm afraid you're going to have to hear me again. Good evening, everybody. My name is Ray Herron. Pleasure to be with you all here tonight. And I want to tell you that this is an Oliabo overview by Ray Herron and Malcolm Wallace. This is not an official Oliabo company Zoom here tonight. So, this is our opinion of what we have before us. And I hope you take us real seriously and look at this really close. I believe it's a premier opportunity that comes along, maybe if we're lucky in this industry, once a decade. I don't know where I've caught you here tonight, but I will say this. For me personally, I've been 40 years full time in this industry, working almost every day of my life. It's an industry that took me from poverty to fortune. I was born and raised very poor in a house with a dirt floor in a little dusty town in southwest Oklahoma. Six siblings, and spent the biggest probably half of my life, certainly my life as a young adult growing up, with too many embarrassing moments because of the lack of money. And I got married along the way. Just because you're broke don't mean you can't fall in love, and I certainly did. And my wife and I, we had three children, and one along the way coming, our daughter, when this industry found me, or I found it, and had the good fortune to be personally mentored by a guy that I love dearly, Mr. Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn taught me things that my parents couldn't teach me, and I don't blame anyone. People can't teach you anything that you don't already know, that they don't know. And so I learned some things and just blindly got into this industry. And I thought, well, I got nothing to lose. I was behind in all my bills, my car payments, my house payments, the utility bills, you name it. So I just did some of the things that man taught me, and about 3 months' time, I was earning over 5,000 a month. 40 years ago, that was a lot of money. Probably still a lot of money today, but I never looked back. I mean, I've been in this industry full time since then. For 32 years, I've done so well. They've written stories about my success, a little bit embarrassing at times because it's never a me thing; it's a we thing. And so lots of success, but I got to tell you, for me personally, in the last 8 years, I felt kind of like Moses wandering around in the desert, uh, trying to find another opportunity that I could fall in love with. But I wasn't successful. I had moderate success, but 32 years, I had tremendous, crazy success. But I just didn't have the right company, at the right time, right opportunity. And when I got the call from Mr. Gordon Morton, a good friend of mine, him and his brother Joe have known for over 30 years, known his entire family, love these guys, trust these guys. I get a phone call from Gordon talking about his idea of this company that we're talking about here tonight called Oliabo. And I've tried to conceal my excitement. I don't think I was very successful at it. Gordon knows me too well. I mean, I felt like hallelujah. Prayers do get answered. I mean, my whole life is about answered prayer, but this was a red letter day in my life when he gave me a call, and this was many months ago, by the way. And so I got to tell you, I think really, without a doubt, we're at the right place at the right time. That's an old story. A lot of people say that. I know that about this one. I've spent a lot of time with these guys. I had 15 years, business years, the best in my life, working with them. Made, the good fortune. Didn't do anything by myself. I did it with great people like you on this call, and made millions and millions of dollars. And I'm looking forward. I've missed the money over the last 8 years, but I've missed the people more than the money. I love this industry. I just, I learned 40 years ago that it wasn't anything I ever dreamed I could be successful at, but I just learned some things and just found out It's important to get the right opportunity at the right time. That's what we got here tonight. A couple of disclaimers. We have, I think, world-class products. They're going to change lives all over the world. That's my opinion. We just rely on the scientific evidence regarding the ingredients of these products. If you see them and you research them, you'll be highly impressed. I promise you, we're going to see some phenomenal things. That's my opinion, but we make no claims, and we make no claims about extravagant amounts of money. It's possible. It's always possible in a good company if you find it at the right time and give it everything you got. It's always possible to succeed in an awful big way at times. I expect to be more successful than any opportunity I've been involved in all of my 40 years here. But I'm only going to be successful if I can be just part of helping you be very successful as well. And that's my goal. That's what gives me great pleasure. I've had the good fortune of seeing friends, themselves go from poverty to fortune over my 40-year career. There's nothing like it. I'm not a selfish guy. I want you to be successful, wildly successful. If you are, I will be as well. If you'll just bring your dreams and your why to this opportunity called Oliabo, it'll be a red letter day in your life. I don't think you'll ever look back. An opportunity like this one, I said every 10 years, I think one like this one, may come along maybe once in our lifetime. And I love this company. I love these products. I love the compensation plan, and I love the executive team here. Highly talented people. Goodness, Gordon and Joe have been in this industry 50 years, over 50 years. I mean, since they were small toddlers. Very successful in this industry. They know exactly what they're doing. They love distributors. They always want to do the right thing for the distributors in their company. Folks, I've got the good pleasure here tonight to introduce you to a guy that I admire greatly. To tell you a little bit about Mr. Malcom Wallace, I'm going to turn the time over to him. Malcolm is a wonderful family man, got two beautiful daughters and a wife, and lots of experience in this industry. I mean, lots. He's made millions and millions of dollars with a number of opportunities, and you're going to see why. He's going to be a great friend to all of us in Oliabo. He is tremendously creative, and he's just got that kind of energy that I wish I had, to be honest with you. I admire him. He's my friend. I call him Thunder from Down Under. And I tell you, take some notes. This guy here knows the difference between being successful and being wildly successful. He's got the recipe for success, and I'll be back with you here in a little bit, and we'll talk about a few things that we know. I think we do have the recipe for success here. We're going to talk about a good friend of mine named this already, called Legacy 3. I'm going to show you how to find the right 3. Malcolm, if you're there, brother, take it away.
Yeah, sure will. Thank you, Ray. For you guys that were a little late coming on board, I mentioned something about cricket. When you get 50 runs when you're at bat, the crowd gives you they give you a standing ovation. When you hit 100, you guys just all got a standing ovation. You got 100 and you got over 100 and I can't even tell here, 103 people on the call. And each one of you, look at this picture, look at these graphics. This is care of Gordon. That's what Gordon Morton's all about. Ray forgot to tell you one thing that's a really big thing about our success. After their run 2001 to 2002, 2017, many of you on this call remember that company because we were in another juice company. There's many good friends on this call. And those guys, wow, they just crushed it. They killed it. And part of it was all their branding. And part of it was the two boys and the family they built and what they wanted to offer people. If you know me, you know one thing. Your income, because this is what this is about. It's about helping people. We're going to help people like you've never seen with your health. Also helping people with their lifestyle, right? I'm surfing life. I have a lifestyle. If you know me, I've lived all around the world. I love it. I love having fun. And it's all in direct correlation to the servitude you give others. So when you see our products, you'll know we're serving you with the best. When you see what we got with the comp plan, but here's just an example. Gordon built and ran and still has his own media company, an incredible company. I did all the research on him, and that's for you. And you know what? I have a feeling that those boys are in the house listening in. So, Ray, we better behave ourselves because I see Oliabo Corp just showed up in the and we better behave ourselves.
Ray, all right.
Go ahead. Yeah, Ray talked about being broke. If you know me, I've been broke twice in my life. I mean, really broke. So I'm adamant to have you guys have a winning streak. And many of you think, oh, well, we're not Ray, we're not Mal, we don't know how. I guarantee Ray told me this, and I saw it for the first time when he said it. I know, and he knows the outcome before we even start this. We know it. We had a lot of fun. He with one company, me with another. A lot of you on this call. A lot of people won, and it's going to happen again. Now, you gals, I'm going to jump back 1 sec. Testimonies are great. I've been on the phone with Gordon and Joe and Curtis for quite a few months now, right, Ray? And
Yes.
and on the second call, the first call, I had a lot of fun with Gordon. Wow. But on the second call in the boardroom, 4 or 5 seats further down the boardroom, was a gal named Ashley. And you can see her here. You gals, pay attention to what I'm going to tell you. And all you vain men, I'm vain, I'll tell you. But she was sitting back there quiet, and Gordon mentioned her once or twice. And I was thinking, if you know me, I got 2 daughters, and they're drop dead gorgeous. And not just because I'm their dad, they are. And I said, Gordon, the gal Ashley down there, you mentioned the name. She's and he had her as vice president. That's what he said. Vice President Ashley. And I was thinking, wow, he's got his 18-year-old daughter as vice president. I hope that's not the way this guy's going to run the corporation. So I said, Ashley, why don't you move up in the chair, come up here, come up closer, let's have a chat. And I asked her about, wow, 18, your daughter, what have you done? You finished school yet? And they're laughing at me. I couldn't figure out why they're laughing. And they told Ashley to have a chat to me and tell me who she was and what she'd done. And gals, I'm going to tell you later. How many of you can guess her age? I just want you to think about that when we get to our product. Look at this 18-year-old gal here, and she's been using the core product that we have because she helped bring one of the products to us. So let's get into Oliabo. I guarantee by the end of this Zoom and by the end of your career, you're going to know how to speak Italian because that's where it all started, Treviso. In Italy, Gordon and Joe knew this is it. Gordon Joe's mom, by the way, Italian full-blood immigrant, came to Canada. Their dad is one of the original gangsters that started network marketing in Canada with his own company, and Ray will elaborate on that. But every summer, they went on holidays back to Italy, and this area is one of those blue zones, blue zones where the people live well over the century mark, over 100 years of age. And as boys and as they grew up and became teenagers, their mom was obsessed with getting high phenolic extra virgin olive oil. And they were told and made to have that every single day. And Gordon, over the years, wondered why. What is it with my mom? What is it with this oil? And then he went on a research, and we're going to show you what he came up with. And it's been a few years in the making. So the origin is from Treviso, Italy, and the products come out of there. Yes, they're formulated in North America, but the core products, they come out of there. And, sometimes it's right in front of us. And this is extra virgin olive oil, high phenolic. And it looks like that. It's like that neon green, not what we see in the bottles when we buy it. And it's right before our eyes. It's been one of the most important botanicals in history. Modern science now is confirming it. And I knew this when I was 5 to 7 years of age. I read the King James Bible back to front to back. I wanted to know something, figure out something. And, right in the very, very first chapter of the Bible, it talks about olives. And it talks about olives more and more and more and more and more, all the way through it. So we've taken ancient wisdom, and there's this gap, this huge awareness gap. How long is that? That's thousands of years until modern day science. Now there's empirical evidence, high quality olive tree derived products. They contain powerful phytonutrients. And they offer superior nutritional health. And we know that because we see these Italians. If you've ever been, my wife's laughing because the dogs are barking here. Not my dogs. But you ever been to Italy and the way they eat? And they live so much longer. Well, we're about to share with you what it is. Oliabo, it's the new standard of health and the new standard of the olive. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I thought to myself when I first heard it, well, everybody's got olive oil. How's those mom and dads? Because, Ray and I that come from the same cut, we love to see people succeed. And I thought, how's the average person going to be able to share that, well, I can get olive oil in the store, whatever. Well, we're going to share how you can and be able to cover that when people ask you. In the Mediterranean, Italians consume 14 liters, 14 liters. You'll think I can drink 14 liters. I couldn't even try. The Greeks, 20 liters. You guys, the average North Americans, hey, I know there's a people from Norway on this call. I know that. There's some Aussies on the call as well. But how are we going to get you guys? You go from, in a whole year, you probably consume a liter. That's if you like Italian food and cooking in olive oil. And it's crappy olive oil. We know what olive oil is today. It's not olive oil. It's a takeoff. It's not what we want. It's not high phenolic, extra virgin olive oil. It's always a blend. It's always being changed. Gordon, those guys use a screen on it. I don't like to put down other things, but we're going to show you how you can change your life with this product. And then, if you're going to live really long, you might as well have the money to enjoy yourself. So just take a snapshot of this with your phone, because we're not going to go through all the science. I don't profess to be a science. Dr. Earl Mindell's on this call. Dr. Jerry Shaw's on this call. These guys know the science behind everything. I know it works. I know some of the team that have been on it and the testimonies they got. But there's a huge range of health benefits with extra virgin olive oil. And it's just obvious for that Mediterranean diet and how they live. Cardio support. Now, I want you to think of these numbers here. 30%. That's not just a few. That's a third lower risk of cardiovascular events with just 50 mils of olive oil a day. Third, I just lost a great mate. He's 52 years of age. We had Bible study together. We went for lunch together, and 25, 30 minutes later, his wife was screaming and he dropped dead. Big, good man, a Marine, and he dropped dead. Cardiovascular problem. Longevity. Some people go, I want to check out. The world's all messed up. When you got a lot of money, you have a lot of choices. You can do what you want, when you want, how you want, but you don't want to do it broke. Just 11 mils of extra virgin, EVU, that's what this stands for, is 8 to 9% lower, 8 to 9% lower all causes of mortality. If you do that math to what you are, you're going to live a long and healthy life, as Jay Giles used to say. Brain health. Hey, sweetie pie, my wife needs to listen to this. With this move, she's had so much on her mind. There's so many things going on. She keeps forgetting stuff. 20 to 30 mil improves cognitive function, reduces beta amyloid accumulation. That beta amyloid accumulation, those sort of things is what you've seen, how there's just this incredible rise, not just in mental illness, but in Alzheimer's. And, a lot of you on this call know a real good friend of ours that was in the last company, and in his early 50s, he passed away from Alzheimer's. And it's there. We got to combat this. We were created wonderfully. Our bodies have the ability to heal themselves. And today, we better be taking something. We got to be taking the best of what we can find to give that a chance, because what's going on in the world, it's just a constant battle. And digestive health, I had that belly for a long time, and I had to fight, and I didn't realize how important gut health was. And inflammation, that's the key to pretty well everything.
Is that
Jerry, and I'm going to have to ask you guys to hit them all. You're going to have to mute yourself.
I have.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll unmute you. Unmute yourself, Ray, when you need to. So inflammation, that's the key to everything. A lot of us had dealt with inflammation. All the injuries I've had, I used to deal with it, but I can't do it anymore. Most of my plumbing was removed. Ibuprofen. And you're going to find out something about ibuprofen and the link with extra virgin olive oil. So let's move on. What makes our Oliabo extra virgin olive oil high phenolic? There's some terms, and Ray said it great. Take down, right? Take a snapshot with your phone. That's the key today, instead of writing it down. And go to AI, go to ChatGPT or Gronk or DeepSeek or whatever you want, and look up this. I looked this up. I take notes. The minute those boys were talking to me on the second call and mentioning these names, I wrote them down, and I was already on Google looking these up, and I was amazed at what's going on. So in high phenolic extra virgin olive oil, oleocanthal. This is one of the core key things that you have. Now, you can read all those benefits. I've done this before. I've been in serious pain. I won't tell you how it happened. I had a bad facial injury. And I got ibuprofen and crushed it with the bottom of a glass and stuck it under my tongue. I was thinking of those guys that used to put those nitrate tablets under their tongue when they feel a heart attack coming along. I was in so much pain. And the minute I did that, I coughed. I had this funny thing in the back of my throat. I remember that well. Some of you guys remember it. It was when I lived in Thailand, had that car accident. And that facial injury, man, it killed me. So I was doing that. Oleocanthal is what does that. So I'm going to give you a hint. Remember we talked about ibuprofen? We talked about inflammation. Oleocanthal is nature's form of ibuprofen 100x. And that's the key to extra virgin olive oil, high phenolic. Aleuroprene, look at that. Your blood sugar, your micro, your weight management, your cardiovascular. Weight management is so key for every single body. And verbascicide. So instead of doing the science and boring you guys here, write them down and go Google it. Go look up on AI, go and chat GTP and find out what this is. I built a whole PowerPoint on it because I know how people are going to want to know, and I know I need to tell them. Now, it's not just the olive. The olive, there's a key. These boys understood. You've got to get the olive at a very certain age that the olive is. When it's green, when it's that neon color, and you got to extract the olive oil, but you got to do it at a process, and it's got to be an X amount of hours, and then you got to get the verbascicide out of it and the phytonutrients out of it, the high phenolic olive oil. But there's another key to this plant besides just the olive. That's the seed the tree creates to keep itself going for thousands of years since Bible times. And that's the leaf. And that's where aleuroprene comes from, out of the leaf. And by combining these two with high phenolic extra virgin olive oil, they proprietary blended, see it's trademark, Olivectum. And it kind of sounds like something else that was out there around about that helped cure a lot of things. And that's our proprietary extraction, and that's the partnership they have with these products. And that is what is the ingredient of our core product, Prima. So I told you you're going to learn Italian. Prima, that's your core product. That's what our company's going to launch with. And we're going to give you a hint about that. 10, 10, 10. You heard that on one of their calls, and we'll tell you what 10, 10, 10 means. And then where everybody's joined, I guess. One in the room, sorry, left someone there. Prima comes in, how many people, it's high phenolic extra virgin olive oil. You know that slide, 14 liters a year, the Italians, 20 liters Greek. How are you going to get an American, Australian, a Canadian to consume 40 liters of olive oil, high phenolic extra virgin? This is the answer. It's right here in this pack. And this pack is, notice that on the right, this is Gordon's branding. I'm telling you, if you're old enough, I'm old enough. I know Doc Earl is old enough. Ray's old enough. Jerry's old enough. I know Judy out there. Olympia Sound is old enough. Remember when good olive oil came in the metal tin? That's our product. That's how it's shipped to you in a metal tin. You know what I'm going to do with this? I'm saving these tins and they're going in my workshop because that's what I do. I save things to put my work things in. Isn't this a branding? This is incredible, folks. That's how your product's going to show up, shipped to your door, convenience, right, of delivery. And it comes with 30 of these pillow packs. The front, Oliabo, the olive standard, and inside the pack is 2 high phenolic extra virgin olive oil capsules. They're polyphenols infused, and they got rosemary in it. Why is it in a capsule? Because remember, I told you about that cough. When you put high phenolic extra virgin olive oil in your mouth, you'll get that cough. You get 3 of them. You'll cough. It's got this odd phenomena to it. So that's how you put 40 liters of good high phenolic extra virgin olive oil in your body in a day. Now, Olivectum, remember the proprietary brand from the olive leaf extract? That's in a separate pill. See, there's another one of them, the little green one. And the red one's Rosa. And that's got a grape seed extract as well as lycopene with the olive base in it. What's lycopene? If you've ever been to Europe and you've got those incredible, good, juicy, big tomatoes, and you got to eat it, and you got that zing, that zing you get when you get a great one on your tongue, that's lycopene. So that's your daily dose. How convenient is this, folks? Great branding in a tin. This is our core product. And what happens with you as you do it, this is very important. You know, I'm with a company now, been with them 8 years, but it's like a 5 to 8 month run of taking the product before you see the actual results. It works, but that's a long run, you know? How about when you take it and 2-3 days you forget and you don't take it, and this product's that good that you say, I'm not making a claim here, but you go, wow, I better go get that. I don't feel right. That's what we're talking about here, and that's what helps sales. Second product, we got a lineup of products here. Flex. Now, Flex is the core product, high phenolic extra virgin olive oil compounds with the oleocanthal in it. But it also, that, you know, that oleocanthal acts, see, this is a similar pathway of ibuprofen, anti-inflammatory. But this is nature's one. But it also has olivectin, mangosteen, pericarp, and squalene. Go look those ones up. Mangosteen, pericarp, and squalene. This is in an ointment. You put a couple drops. You rub it with your finger. You warm it up. And that spot on you that's hurting, your bad knee, your bad back, your scoliosis, or you're just worn out, or you're tired, your body's aching, you put that on, and it's virtually instant. In a matter of minutes, you'll have the relief. That's what sells. When something like that happens, that sells. And we're launching with this, folks. When people coming in late, there we go. We're launching with this. Now, we haven't got time on this call, but we're going to start doing testimonies. And I've heard some phenomenal testimonies with first product we show you, and then this one. When you got something that's instant, that really sells. Our next product is our skincare line. And this comes through from the help of Ashley Brown. She was using the core key in what Gordon and Joe figured out about high phenolic extra virgin olive oil and oleocanthals and the olivectin. She was using this in her own product that Ashley marketed herself, not in network marketing. So, gals, how old do you think Ashley is? This is not a picture when she was in school. This is a picture right now. 40. And you know the day on that second call, and they said that to me, and I don't swear much, and I said an S swear word. I was like, holy. And I thought to myself, I'm in. You know the market, folks? Oh, and the price point of this, the market with the price point of this, and that's the result. Come on. Viso Looks. That's an anti-aging serum. Couple drops, you dab it on, and you get this glorious, glorious sheen that she talks about, Ashley talks about, and you could dream again. You know, we dream about our incomes, we dream about finance, we dream about feeling healthy again, but we can also dream about, you know, I'm pushing 70, and I look at myself and I go, man, that's not the guy I used to see. I'm telling you, I led a rough life, and now I'm paying the price. I'm using this. I guarantee I'm using this. We've all got that vanity streak in us. And here's our answer. So we got a solution, right? You see, heard what we have, that solution. Now, there's a product coming. Not going to get on the launch day. It's very close to coming. And that's Trevisio. See, all these products, they've got that Italian. You know, if it's Gordon doing this, he has such a good accent because he speaks Italian. And that's a key product. There's 3-in-1. Comes in a great little box. See all of our packaging. This is all part of your branding. What you see here is part of our branding. That's a huge thing in this package. The company, the boys behind it, the other C class, our legal, everybody else, our branding we have, our products. And then what you're going to see soon is the pay plan if you stay with us. So let me mute you all. Now, we have a standard. And this standard is on every single one of the products. There's no changing products. There's no down the road blending it. None of that's going to happen. We're holding, this is the new olive standard of health. We're going to be out there with our Minerva seal of authenticity and setting the pace with everybody. Salute. You know what that means, right? Don't you like these graphics? Don't you like what these boys have done? Remember that time in the 50s? I was born in the 50s, early 60s in Australia. Wow. Life was great. Everybody was having fun, right? Things were incredible. Well, that's what our company's going to get you back to that lifestyle. In this modern time of 2025, with the Oliabo New Olive Standard, I'm going to pause for a sec while I talk to you a little bit. Get out your phone, snapshot, take these, because you want to get onto all with the Gordon's expertise in graphics, Gordon's expertise in branding, Gordon's expertise in building something big for you and giving you the tools. You need to be on these, on the Oliabo platforms, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. Go out and take a snapshot of those. And now for you folks that we heard about the product, there'll be more calls, there'll be more in depth. And I'm sure Earl and Dr. Jerry and those boys will participate and help us with the science for you people that like that. You know, I always get into a product, I just try it. I go, I know the science is important, but I want to try it. And when you get people that do that and they try it and they notice that difference pretty well right away, that's when you've got a winner, right? That's when you've got a winner. So I'm going to move on now. This scene, this is what life used to be. Remember that, folks? It was great, wasn't it? Well, we can get there again. And one way you get there is having enough money. I know I talk about money, but I've had no money and I've had lots of money. I'm telling you, when you got plenty of money, things really change. I mean, they really change. Someone calls up, you're living in Phuket on an island, beach house, Mal, we need your help over here in Pittsburgh. All right, I'll get a plane tomorrow. It's a 20-hour flight, but I'll get a plane tomorrow. I'll be there. Let's do what we have to do. Let's build it big for you. I'll support you. And then when I go to book the ticket, I don't worry about the price. I go, all right, it's business. You know, Thai Airways didn't have first class. It's business class. I deserve it. When you've got that kind of money, when you're able to do what you want, go get some toys, have some fun, support your kids. Have, you know, you guys and gals on the phone with teenage daughters. I got 2 daughters now. We had a 4-bedroom house. One of the reasons we moved to this house, it's got 6 bathrooms. People like, why 6 bathrooms? Wait till you got daughters and a wife, man. You need a lot of bathrooms. And there's no point of worrying about the money. We're going to give you this lifestyle. And it's going to be powered by 3-4 things: the boys, the company, the product, and how we may help you make money. Premio Pay. And it's so simple, our pay plan. It's incredibly simple. I'm going to go into depth a little bit for the first one, but it's so simple. Now I've put out a couple clips. I'm going to redo another one because Ray has a surprise for you. He surprised me yesterday lunchtime, right when I got home from church, with an upgrade to our pay plan. And it's a really great solution. So I'm going to go through this, and there's a really important part with our pay plan, and it's going to give you a lifestyle. You know, remember those kind of things? Well, here's how simple it is. Me plus 3. That's not me. This is Gordon. Gordon came up with this. The simplicity of me plus 3. 3 is going to get you to the top of the pay plan. 3 is going to get you all of it, what you deserve and everything that's coming. Me plus 3. You know, I had a different graphic I built myself, but then I thought, look at his, you see what he's doing? See how he's so consistent? I want you to think about this, because as we go through our career with this company, Oliabo, and with Gordon and Joe and Curtis and Ashley, you'll notice some little things like the people, they match this. See, they match the Oliabo, which is really close to the Italian symbol. So let's get into 3 plus 3. We want to solve our problems right out of the gate, right? Most of us, you know, people always talk about timing. And you got to get that person, you got to get them at the right time. You know, one of the biggest timing issues in network marketing, direct sales, MLM, the whole lot, when you call that person, they're broke, right? I used to talk about it on stage. He's got to answer your prayers. And people go, Mal, you're going to bring God into this? And they go, no, he doesn't. Yeah, but, you know, when someone calls you and you're praying to God, man, I'm broke. I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired. And someone calls you and you go, I'm in, because you know that's a solution. Dr. Jerry Shaw knows that. I was on the side of a road at the border. He used to call me every Tuesday, 50 of the 52 Tuesdays of a year. No thanks, not interested, no thanks. Very politely, right? We both doing other things. And he called me this one day, and I was in a real financial pickle, really big. I went, Jerry, it's 10 in the morning. I'm already, you know, I want to tell you the whole story, but I'm already in, oh. And then I thought to myself, you know, direct sales has got me out of pickles before. I made tons of money. I went, wait a minute, told the border customs guy, can you just hold on a second? I walked outside and stood in the ditch on the highway at Canada at the Coots border crossing and went, what do you got? And he told me. And that run, wow, that was a great run. So you need money out of the gate to solve that financial solution. Sprints. That's what we have. It's called sprints, and it's paid weekly. And how the sprint works is when you introduce someone and they come on board and they buy a Prima pack. Now I'm going to give you a little hint here. This company is so transparent and they want you to win so much that there's always a huge difference between the point value and the dollar value of a product. Now, there's a company I'm in at the moment, and I'm spending $230 odd for my qualification per month. But you know what? I only get 107 points, and you need 110. So I've got to buy an extra product. That, and they say they pay 60%. That's not 60% payout because they're already skimming 50% off the top. And this happens right across the world. And that 50% off the top means you're getting 50% of up to 60%. Maybe 24, 23, 28, 30 if you're lucky. Here, 25% is 25%. Prima is $110, 100 points. So that's $25. Someone or you have tell this couple, I'm going to show couples all the time. Look down the right, because we're usually got partners, right? You introduce this to a couple and they go, man, we want to look young again. We want to feel great. We want to have longevity. I'm in. They buy a Prima, $25 to you. Now they go out and tell somebody, and the person buys one core product, 10% to you. But how do you get this second level? It's a double down. See this? Double down. Double down means to qualify to get 2 levels in the sprint money, you have a minimum requirement of 200 points. Minimum requirement of 200 points. What's that? That would be 2 Primas, or that would be Prima and something else. Minimum requirement. So because you double down, your team's going to double down. And what happens? That means when you introduce someone, instead of getting $25 on their first initial order, you're getting $50. And when they introduce someone, instead of getting $10, you're getting $20. We're always paying out all the money. But you go, Mal, that's not 50%. You see, this company pays 50%, not up to 50, true 50. That's 20 points more than anybody else out in the market. So where's the rest of it? 5% goes into the global pool. That's $5. 5% goes into the elite bonus pool. That's $5. And another $5 goes into the incentive pool. And you're going to see what these are. That's a total of 50% payout. So great upfront money. I'll give you an example of this really quick because Curtis sent me this slide and I went, I'm going to add it in. There you go, Curtis. I'm giving a shout out to you. A new order comes in, Prima, 100 CV points. You're active. You brought him on board, $25, 25%. Now, because you doubled down and that person helped someone else or that person above you has doubled down, there's $10 to that rep. See how this works? So 25%, 10% on the second level, then the rest out to the 50 is paid out. Always paying out 50. There's no breakage in this pay plan whatsoever to anybody. This company is such a great example of how it should be done. You see, it's the new standard of health. But Oliabo is also the new standard of that shortcut to your financial wealth. Now, affiliate. Why is that? Because when you got a product as great as us, you're going to get a lot of people going, look, I just want to take the product. I just want to be a customer. I don't want to build a team. I don't want to be forced into doing that. Can I do that? Yes, you can. Now, you're an affiliate. Why do we say affiliate? Because you may, down the road, someone's going to say, hey, Judy, how come you look 10 years younger all of a sudden? Well, I've been using Lux. And I went, can I get some of that? But because you're a customer, you don't have the ability, but you do. Because you can just go and give them your link, and now you go to becoming a customer affiliate. So when an affiliate shares this, someone says, I just want to be a customer, $25 is paid out, 25%, $25. But they still got to make up the difference. So the active account gets $12.50, and the rep above, double down member, second level, $5. That's half of that because they paid out half right up front. So every single month that your customers order product, you're going to get $25 for every order, every 100 point. Now, where's all the rest of it go? It still pays out the full 50%. See here? And it goes into the global elite and incentive pools. It pays out the full amount. So even though they're a customer, everybody in the team benefits. Pardon me. Let's look at the team. It's a uni level. I love uni levels. I used to be called the binary king, but it's so much work to keep people happy in a binary. There's so many people on inside legs. So I'm not going to even go there. I love it because I'd crush it, but it's not what everybody else could do. Pete Dawkins, way back in '92, the CEO of A.L. Williams, the first company I was in, he used to say to me over and over, Mal, they're not like you. But I never got it, right? I just wanted everybody to do what I did. They're not like me, but I want them to win so bad. So you're having a good look at this, and we're back to the Italian. So you come on board, you order up to 99 points. Why is that? Because some of the other products like Flex and Luck, they're not full 100 points because they're less money. Just giving you a hint. Ray will probably talk about price points here. But you come on board and you're a rep. You say, I want to participate in this pay plan. You're Bravo. 100 points, you get paid 2 levels. Whether you brought those people in, whether someone above you in your upline placed those people, because remember, it's only 3. We're talking about building 3 legs. That's it. 3 legs to max this whole pay plan out. You get paid 2 levels. But you move up to a kappa, and I'll show you how these works. You get paid 3 levels. But have a look at this. It's 10%. Now, how many of you know when you've been in a uni level, how big that 3rd level gets? That's where it starts to take off. And those numbers get wide, right? It gets big. They've doubled down for us, just like they doubled down before. So this is $5, $5, $10. Go up to Quinto, and you're down to 5 levels deep. But it doesn't get smaller. You know how the uni levels get smaller and smaller the further you go down? $5, $5, $10, $5, $5. Get up to Venti. And I'm going to show you how simple it is. You probably think I'll never get to these ones. I'll never get to the Crown, Premio. This one up here with the Crown. Oh, no. I want to get this global bonus pool, and you see how good it is. I'll never get there. Yeah, you will. I'm going to show you how simple this is. Our baseline pay is so simple. Someone comes on board with a 100-point primo order, $5, $5, $10, $5, $5, $5, $5, $5. Sound like Little Caesar, right? Remember that? That's 50% payout for you. You go, no, it's not. There's something missing there. Well, there's the global bonus. See that? The 5%. That makes up the 5%. If you were adding that up, you go, that's $45, Mal, not 50. Well, it is because 5% goes into that pool. Now, if you're an affiliate, if an affiliate comes on board, right? Margaret over there in Hawaii, I know how you run. You sell products and people use them because you use them. And so they say, I don't want to build a team. I'm sort of retired, but I really want the product. What happens? $25, but that same uni level gets paid. That 50 other percent of that, what didn't go out, gets paid all through 8 levels. It never, ever, ever skips out. So with this, you're going to get this lifestyle. And it's this simple. See that? Teach 3 to build 3. That's kind of our motto in this team, which you're all in, because Ray's the master distributor. Teach 3 to build 3. And, it's Michael Arsenault that came up with this. Shout out to you, Michael. Such a great idea. It's simple to build 3. It's such a great idea. Teach 3 to build 3. So I made some clips. Curtis and Gordon, if you're watching this, I stepped out of the bounds like I usually do. And I made some slides for you. So Kappa, here you are, right? I was surprised how simple this pay plan is. So a Kappa, remember back here, all right? You remember how they are. We're going to start at Kappa because Bravo, you just joined and ordered some products and you get paid 2 levels. But Kappa, here we go. You go get 3 people. There's 3 families, 3 moms and dads, right? It's just 3. It can be single people. You have a 100-point order. That's a prima. And you have 3 people with a 100-point order. And the total volume, I'm going to do this. 1,000. Man, I can only do 50 push-ups. I can't do 1,000 push-ups. You kidding me? You know what this is? This is 10 orders. Remember? It's 100 points an order. You, with 3 people personally enrolled with an order each and 10 orders in the team. Remember? 3. Who get 3? See here? 3, 3, 3. 3 who get 3. You're paid 3 levels deep, and you just hit that big $10. $10. If they're ordering 2 products, because they doubled down. What's that? $20, $20 an order on your third level. That's incredible. We move up to Quinto. So now it's still that three, you got three, and they still, you have your 100-point, your single order. They have their single orders, but you know, this would be double. Not making a claim, but if everybody's doubled down with two orders, right, to get their two levels, and that's what you'd be doing, because you wouldn't want to take the product and not give it to your missus. You outlive her. That's a lonely life, right? And what do we got to do here? That's each one of these legs is 10 orders each. That's how simple it is. The overall team all together, you could have more legs. I'm not saying you're stuck to three. You can be wider. It's 50 orders. That up there is only 50 orders. Move up to Venti. So there's one more, and look where you're getting paid. Two more levels. $5, $5, $10, $5, $5. Move up to Venti. The first thing you need to do is sponsor a fourth person. You've got minimum three. But when you got a product like this and the boys behind it and all the marketing and all the branding, when you got his Michael just came on board. He missed out. He missed out, me telling him, putting him out there. His ears must have been burning. Michael, your ears must have been burning. I was just talking about you. Now you showed up. You need a fourth person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just showed up. I was talking about you and your three, the team build, three to build three. So here we are now. We've moved up past three. You need a fourth person. You're at Venti. You're 7 levels deep. This is where your check is big. This is where your monthly check is big. Your sprint income is big because you're building and you're getting paid those first 2 levels. And what's the requirement? 50 orders. These people are on single order each, but they'll all be doubled down. And 50 orders. You know, that's only 25 orders if everybody's doubling down. That's only 25 orders in your organization of each of their legs. That's not hard to do. This person over here, the fourth one, they haven't had to build a team yet. And in total, 200 orders in your team. 100 double down, 200 orders. See how simple this thing is? Remember your last companies you were in? Remember the hoops you had to jump through? Remember all those calls at the end of the month trying to get people? Remember the crown? This is where you get the big money. This is where you qualify the global pool. I have Ray to share that. So what have you had to do? One more, go get another person. How easy is it to have 5 personally enrolled when something works? When something really works and you see those results. And each of these, your core 3 teams, you need to have at least 2 of them double down. See that? 200 qualifying, 200 qualifying. And they only need 50 orders. These need 200 orders in the legs. Now, if you got more than just 3 legs, if you've gone wider, those outside legs are able to horizontally compress and add up to make the numbers to make these 3 legs fit. Now, this is the top of the pay plan. You're paid all 8 levels. You're collecting the max out of everything, and you're going to get the global bonus pool. And that's the minimum requirement. Go figure, folks. Look how easy this is. 50 orders, 200 orders, 200 orders in a team. That's not a lot of people. How many people is that? That's around 450, 500 people in your team. 500 orders all over. And if everybody follows, double down, because I'm sure you're going to have 200 points a team when you see our products. You don't want Prima. You don't want Prima for the rest of your family. There's 200 points. You don't want Flex. You don't want the Lux product. 200 points is just a piece of cake. So I hope Gordon's not paying attention here, but I think he made it far too easy. Far, far, far too easy. Why is that? Because really, you're only talking 250 people. Oh, my goodness, you guys. You see how he's adamant to help you win? That's what company we're with. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about streamlined compression. Some of you guys might remember, it used to be called dynamic compression. So we showed you can horizontally compress to make the numbers work for your 3 legs. And streamline compression, if there's people that aren't qualified in that line, always pays out all 8 levels, and they're not qualified to get those 8 levels, what happens is it will search deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper down to fill it up. And it will keep on reaching down each level. So you can see it growing there. You got a 100-point order came into your team, whether that's a person you bought in, it's a person that one of your team personally enrolled people bought in, whether it's people that were placed from the holding tank or whatever we're going to call it, placed into your team, because that's what happens in uni levels, right? That's how you build synergy. That's how you build it. It will pay you. So here's that new order at the bottom. So the first person that brought them in, they qualify for that sprint money, right? And they qualify also for this money in our uni level, 8 levels. But the next person, they're not qualified to get paid that 2 levels. They're just a rep over here, right? See there? Less than 100 points. They're just an affiliate customer. So they don't get paid. So it goes to the next level, looking for the next Bravo rep. And they get paid. And then it keeps on going up to the next level. That person's a Bravo, and they haven't got down to the 3rd level. So what happens? It moves up and goes further, and it finds the next one. That's a Kappa person, just in this case. So they're paid the $10, the 10%. And then the next person, he's just a Kappa, but we got to get a further level down, right? Because now you need to be a Venti to get further down. So it goes up and finds the next one, which happens to be a Quinto, sorry. And then it keeps on going. So here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 payouts, but we're already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 levels deep. That's why Curtis sent me this slide, and I put it in. And if you're in one of those last companies where we had a uni level, Jerry, you remember this? You were getting paid. Like, people used to say to me, Mal, you're 50, 60, 70 levels deep, and you go do meetings for them. You fly around Yes. Why wouldn't I? Because this builds security, folks, and this pay plan is designed to build it deep, because you can be getting paid 25 levels deep, 75 levels deep on an 8-level uni level because of what that streamlined compression is. Isn't that something? And what's that lead to? When you're that Premio, Ray's had this experience. You know, I saw some of those guys. My house in Phuket was only 100 meters up the hill from behind my house on the beach was Mangosteen Resort. Gordon and Joe and the owners, they used to bring guys over there for these elite trips, stay at Mangosteen Resort. Randy Gage, good friend, he'd come to the house. And I'd hear about those global bonus pool checks. Ray used to get them. Ray, why don't you share these people? I'm just going to give you one hint, folks. See that number on the side? 5%, not 1%, not 2%, 5%. That's 5 times every other company, 2.5 times the rest of them. 5%. If you're $1 billion company, someone get a calculator. What's 5% of $1 billion? How'd they come out for you last time you had a global bonus pool? Ray?
Well, yeah. You know, this is brilliant thinking, Gordon, if you're listening. 5%. In Zango, we had a 3% global bonus, and we experienced every quarter some high 6-figure incomes. It was quite amazing. So that was at 3%. This was at 5. Why do I like a global bonus? Because it's a we thing. You know, we want everybody working towards participating in this global bonus. And we think we can do that, you know, if you got some fire in your belly and you're ready to make things happen in your life, this is the compensation plan. Gordon just did a brilliant job with this. I mean, the company knows exactly what they need to grow this company. They know exactly what they can pay out to us. And it's all the way 50%, which includes this 5% global bonus. It's a brilliant concept, brilliant idea, and I'm really looking forward to experiencing it. And I want all of you to experience it as well. Malcolm, you're awesome. You're just awesome. I've gotten a number of texts, and people love to hear you. And I will say this, and Malcolm's not, I don't think you're through. I'm going to turn it back to you here for a minute. But, you know, I was taught by Jim Rohn. He goes, look, if it's been said well, just borrow it. And I use that term all the time, but I also, if it's been said well, done well, I'll borrow it. I'm probably the best thief you've ever seen in this industry. Malcolm's got qualities that, frankly, I don't possess, but I've got some maybe that he don't possess. That's the beautiful part about network marketing. I love everything about this guy because He's Mr. Excitement. He loves this industry, and you will know that having spent the last almost hour with him. He is extremely good at it. And I mean, he's a tool guy. There'll be more tools than I promise you you'll know what to do with, but I promise you you'll pick the best ones. And each thing this guy does is just, I mean, it's just to help the team. That's the way he thinks. He wants you to be successful, whether you're part of his organization or not, but he considers you part of his because he's going to participate in the global bonus. Therefore, he's going to every day give it his very best. I mean, I like this guy a lot, and he is the kind of guy this industry needs. And Malcolm, I'm hoping, I'm pretty sure. Did I see a recording button? Is this being recorded, or did you forget?
No, I hit the record, but I hope it's recording. It's too
Yeah,
long. It's an
I
hour,
hope.
but we're taking an hour, folks. We're not going to do these Zooms for an
Yeah,
hour. We're not going to make you do that. This is the opening one, and we want you to get the whole picture. You know, I
right.
bet you some people going out there. I think he left a slide out. I think he missed the matching bonus slide. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Because when you understand this global pool and you saw how easy it is to get there, 250 members in your team with the double down, that's incredible. And you get to share in this. And it's a pro rata global bonus pool. It's not one that just dilutes. And that other company, when they'd have those things at the Mangosteen Resort, and Jerry, you know this, that my check with that company, more than 50% of it was matching bonus. But you see, that's not what everybody could do. They could not get that. They couldn't get, that's what separated my check from everybody else's. And I used to think, wow, I wish they could get what the kind of money I'm getting. And they couldn't. But here you can. And I used to think about those boys in Zango, and they were only on a 3% global bonus pool. So if I'm, my check, the matching bonus was 50 odd thousand a month, it added up to. So this is not yearly, folks. You see, this is every 3 months, every 90 days, you get another bonus with this company. And their bonus checks that they'd show me, Ray, your bonus check with every 3 months was in the hundreds of thousands, right?
Correct.
And I would be looking at mine going, okay, 3 times 50. I'd be like, wow, I left like $250,000 on the table every 3 months. That's the big part of this, and you're going to get to be it. So let's move on. As usual, these boys like to have fun. I know that. And they're going to reward you. And these are one of the best parts I love of this industry, where you earn those trips and you go on those reward trips and have fun together and you get to know people. Some people I'd see at convention or whatever, you're busy, but then when we'd be on these trips and you'd have a quiet chat with them on a balcony or wherever you were, and you learn something about them and how unique you are. I love this industry. We're going to reward you. The new standard, the Olive standard, Oliabo, and that pay plan that you just saw is powered by this: Prima, Flex, Visa Lux, and the to come, the Trade Visa. That's what powers this whole thing. And when you got what's happening here with the company, with the ideal, you saw that in the opening clip. That opening clip's really important. That's Joe and Gordon's whole vision of what we got to get back to the way it should be, how life really is. And then build a pay plan that builds a community, have all the proven systems that we're going to have for you that you're going to get, the pay plan and everything else. That's what gives you this Oliabo experience. And, I'm going to hand it over to Ray to close this out. On one of the calls, Gordon told me about his brother Joe, one day on stage, said, it's safe to dream again. Well, it's safe to dream again. People on this call have had some great success. I know that. And then this last, like Ray just said, it was a pretty desolate handful of years back here. I made some mistakes, right? I thought something was going to be good and never turned out to be. And I really felt for the people that followed me into it. But it's safe to dream again, because I know the outcome and Ray does. So why don't you take us home, Ray?
Hey, thank you so much, Malcolm. I mean, I think you're just the absolute best, and everybody. Like I said, he's a team player, so you're going to see a lot of Malcolm Wallace, and I know you'll be happy about that. Just be a bringer. You don't have to have all the skills in the beginning. Just bring people to these presentations. I promise you'll get your share of people. Thank you, Michael. We're going to call our team Legacy 3. we build this. I mean, you can maximize the compensation plan with three people, and certainly you'll be wider than three people, a lot of you, but you don't have to be. And that's a duplicating process. It really is. Bob Schmidt one time said, he says, look, if you got the recipe to make a dozen cookies, you've got the recipe to make 1,000 dozen cookies. And I believe in that. I mean, if we're on the same team, we all do the same thing. That's how we grow. I'll just take you back in time to the year 2002 when we started the Zango. I'm not comparing this to Zango, but there is a lot of similarities. We started with a case of juice at that time, and we taught people this concept. Everybody gets three. Everybody gets on a two-case auto ship for our product, and we repeat that. Everybody gets three. 3, 9, 27, 81, 243. You guys all know the numbers. But it works just exactly like that. We are in a relationship business. You want to have a tremendous relationship with the three people that you have personally brought into this business. You may have brought in 10, but you have a great relationship with three. And I mean the kind of relationship that's almost like if your yard needs mowing and you hurt your back, I'll get on a plane and fly to Tulsa to do it. You want that kind of a relationship, that kind of glue, and it holds things together. A guy that I've got respect for said something the other day, and I told you I'm great at borrowing things from others. He said, you want to think like this with the BLT concept. We all like BLTs, or most of us. He said, the B is, you make a list of people. I've always said that. Make a list. You don't have to make it 100 long, 25. We all got three close people. I know we do. And the BLT concept is simply you talk to people that believe in you. The L is people that like you, and the T is people that trust you. So if you'll keep that in mind, make yourself a list, identify your three. Let's start this. We'll do the meetings with you. We'll do the phone calls. We'll do the Zooms. We'll get them solid from the beginning. We'll get a solid foundation underneath you, and that's the way you succeed in network marketing. Some things never do change. That's never ever going to change. It's always going to be that way. It's a relationship business. So build yourself a relationship with three people. You'll have scads of customers and you'll sponsor other people, but you're going to have a close relationship with three people, and they're going to have a close relationship with three people. That way, everything duplicates. Folks, we're going to
Can I
get you.
ask you one thing to share with them, Ray?
Sure, please.
Can you share with them what I mentioned, 10, 10, 10, and then November 1?
Yes, absolutely.
Do that?
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. The computer is opening up for us. If you'll go to oliabo.com after this, you'll see a little ticker up there, a little timer. And on 10:10 at 10:10 in the morning, we're going to be able to get in the system. It won't mean everybody will be able to get in immediately. It's going to work this way. I'm going to have my ID number. I'm going to pass it to my personally sponsored. They're going to pass it to the people they're personally sponsored. And just in a matter of some hours, we will have the tree beginning to build. I am fortunately, by the grace of God, just the grace of God, the master distributor here at Oliabo, and I wear that badge proudly. I'm going to do the very best that I can do at all times, and I'm going to be respectful of all of you, and I'm going to be supportive of everybody. But always keep this in mind: we're all master distributors, every one of us, not just Ray Herron. We're all master distributors of our own organization. We're the CEO of Me Incorporated. Always look at it that way. When you look at your business in that perspective, you'll give it more. You'll do more. That's the secret to succeeding. People say it's hard work to build a network. I've never considered it hard work. Yes, it's a lot of work, but it's fun work. Fun work is where it's at. You watch Malcolm here. Hey, look, he's 12 hours. It's what, 8 o'clock in the morning for him. He gets up at 5. But you can tell he has fun. That's why he builds giant businesses. He loves it. He loves the industry, has fun, loves Oliabo, knows where we're at. We're at the very beginning of a giant in the making. And I'll say this always, and I'll say it again tonight. Just don't get caught doing less than you're capable of doing. It's the time now to give it everything you got. You don't have to always do that. Let's do it. I mean, let's do it right. And let's do it with fervor over the next 1 year. Let's give ourselves a year. Would you work a year? Would you work a year for financial independence for the rest of your life? I think that's available to you here. I don't think I'm crazy. I've seen it happen to myself. I've seen it happen to lots and lots of people. It can happen for you as well. You say, I don't have the skills. We're going to teach you the skills. I didn't have the skills. I couldn't 40 years ago. I couldn't look people in the eye. Today, nobody intimidates me. And it's all because I was willing to learn, willing to put myself in an uncomfortable situation, willing to make the calls to people when it wasn't the easiest thing to do, willing to get up on a stage and do a presentation when my knees were knocking together. That's what my life was like. And maybe some of you can identify with that. I promise you, you're capable of the most incredible things, and you just might not know it. You plug in here, I promise you, we got the spark to help you be as successful as it's possible in this industry. Malcolm, God love you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate you being here. I'm delighted. I see a lot of the names, people that are friends of mine. Glad to be working with you again. And we'll get a schedule to you really quickly. Malcolm, where will this be posted if you did record it? Can't hear you.
I'm muted. My
Oh,
wife,
there you
Lucille,
go.
was talking to me.
Okay.
I will post it and send it on email to everybody that's got I've got their email address. I'll put it in my Surfing Life, Filling Your Toolbox for Success on the Facebook. We'll get you that link to so all of you, because a lot of you aren't in my team on this call, but we build it for everybody here. So you give you access to that, access to the WhatsApp group that we've got. You know me, I create everything and everybody can plug in, and I'll put it out there for you. And I'll put it up on YouTube as well. So
Yeah. Well, thank you, brother, and Gordon and Joe and Ashley and let's see, Curtis and Adam. If you're all listening, hey, love you guys. Thank you so much for what you put together for us.
all righty, folks. See you. We're gonna do this next Sunday. Yes.
Yes, let's do. Let's say it right now. Same time, same place, next
Same place,
Sunday.
and will be a 30-minute presentation.
Yes, yes. And likely we'll probably do one in between now and then, but we'll let you know.
Most likely. All right. Thank you,
Yes.
folks. You knocked it out of the park. It was 111. Good for you.
Actually, 122. I was counting while you were talking.
Okay.
122.